Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Kenyan Revolutionary. Karibu sana, karibu sana, karibu sana. We are going to have a Monday Beer Summit where we are going to have discussions on Kenyan politics, okay? I do not have a topic at hand. This is freestyle. You can come in and you can address whatever you want to address. So far, what's going on is the whole new funding method way by this President Ruto. He had a town hall meeting, and he was again. I don't know what time does this guy actually work as a president. He's always having a summit, a town hall meeting. Karibu KK, I see you there. Karibu sana, karibu sana, karibu sana. Kuona hapo karibu. I'm glad to see you. I hope you're doing well. Karibu kwa Beer Summit, Kenyan politics. Hiyo ni maji ya machungwa for all you kids who are watching here. That's but anyway, there's I'll touch on a couple of things if anyone wants to jump on this and talk about whatever inawauma. Fungua roho, nitawa invite museme mle mnataka kusema. I do, you can talk about whatever topic you want to talk about. Me leo tunafungua tu roho hapa. We'll see ile kitu nasikia inakuuma sana, unataka kusema, go ahead and jump in. The stream yard link is up there for anyone and everyone, okay? But anyway, let me just go through a couple of things that I saw today through the media. And if you're going to watch on this on repeat, please, let me just get started. If you're going to watch this on repeat, please do not forget to like this video. Like it. If you're just unaipata tu imekuja kwa recommendation yako, umeingia kwa YouTube na umepata recommendation, like it. And if you haven't subscribe. This is a Kenyan political channel. We talk about politics and everything that happens in Kenya. Kenyan politics, to be specific. Sometimes we veer off when we talk about African politics. Sometimes we talk about, whatever. I see KK ameingia hapo. KK, karibu sana. I've just added it. Okay, ndio huyo basi. KK, karibu. What's on your mind, brother?
Hello, Kenyan Rebel. Sir, I've been following what is happening.
Yes.
Prime 3 hours. Spice 3 hours. Jana usiku, actually, this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And the big part of what is happening is hatuna pesa za kulipa watu. That's a fact. We don't have any money to pay the civil servants. Unakumbuka when people talked about tulienda nyuma, to think, to plan. We are in a place where now kila kitu ta get worse and worse from now on. If people can't pay their bills, wanaenda kazi kufanya nini? Hawana pesa mpaka za fare. You can't.
So wait a minute. So is it a case government imekula pesa that they need to? That's why they were banking on this finance bill ndio urukote in your taxes so that government can function.
Yes. This is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Walienda wakachukua pesa zote zilikuwa nini treasury.
Yeah.
And they spent it. Hoping watakuja ongeze all the taxes, all the other stuff, overcompensate walikuwa meiba and whatever they had planned for the project for this year. That did not happen. So wameshatumia pesa na hawana hizo pesa, wameshatumia already.
Yeah.
Na gava, whatever the IMF thing, walikuwa wamepanga na IMF, it failed. Legally failed, right?
Right.
So kuna budget gap right there.
Right.
Na hiyo budget gap, that's what they were trying to make up. Now wameshatumia most of the money. This is where we are now. Hawana pesa za kulipa eventually. That's why even they are going to nikuona the other channel. Wanaonyesha sijui what do you call it? A circle of teachers or something like that. Wanaenda kukopa pesa za, I think it's one of the counties. They went to a commercial bank to borrow money za kulipa staff.
Wow.
Things are that bad. Things are that bad.
lakini isn't that the reason why unakumbuka after that whole IMF meeting with the Mbadi, then Mbadi akafile akafile whatever in the Supreme Court ndio withhold your ruling ya finance bill 2023. Yes. So
yes,
the question is, while they're holding that judgment, does it mean that they still have legal right kuendelea ku collect taxes because they're desperate?
No, hapo ndio wanaleta nini kind of confusion part of it, like a legal loophole wanaweza tumia because unajua bado nini wamelipa nini judiciary pia
hawajalipa or wamewalipa or you mean bribing them? Yes.
So wanajua they were trying to give them a legal kind of a legal way, what do you call it, like a kind of a loophole. And this is where now Bandi amerudisha sijui ku appeal to give them that loophole. And that's why sahi in my thinking, I think everything needs to crash kabisa. Watu wasilipo, watu tuumia. But nipo sahi watu waumie before what would happen from 10 years from now. If this guy survives, if these people survive, and that's same in Ruto peke, that's the whole class, the whole thing.
Wow. So niliona huyo mkubwa ninio wa is it KNUT wa walimu, he tried to call off the maandamano, but so far I think 11 counties bado wamesema, the walimu wamesema we are still going to maandamano. Well, the maandamano was supposed to be today ya walimu. Is it today or tomorrow? Today, I think. Yeah.
I think ilianza leo, but in the continuous. So you don't just go and then go back.
Yeah.
So na that's why mpaka Gen Z wanasema sahi kesho tunatoka kabisa. Saa tuko kila mtu, we are joining kila mtu. Kila kitu ameaffectiwa. Kaa shule watoto waendi. Students are not going back to school. So this is just ukiangalia vitu from maybe like a week ahead, you can see these things coming moja, and it's very intentional. It's well thought.
So how are we going to function? The ninio aya umeona amerudisha wakina nani Moses Kuria wampatia advice. I don't know what kind of advice that wapatia. What do you see? How is this week is going to play out? Walimu ndio wameanza kustrike. Kesho the katiba, whatever is supposed to be happening, I'll be covering that from morning to evening. What else? There's some other people. The matatu people pia walisema wataenda ninio, wataenda maandamano kesho. What is really going on?
So the issue is how I see it. This is what this guy did. And I bribed the head of matatus, right? But these people have only so much power. Si ukisema nini sipeleki gari yangu anywhere staenda. So that's the same case amefanya na hii sijui, what do you call it? Ulikuwa umeita KMTC or something like that.
Yeah, KNUT.
Yes,
Kenya Teachers Union something, whatever.
Yes, not. So akabribe wale watu wako top. But wale mpaka watu wajalipwa, hata ukibribe unanipatia pesa. Nitaenda kazi kufanya nini? Right. This kila kitu ni interconnected. If you look vizuri, it's very well interconnected. And all goes back to, nakumbuka Wanjigi akisema sijui tukuna madeni tunakopa.
Yes.
This is where hizo kitu imetoka. That's why you see Ruto is very afraid of this guy. Because if you think about it, where we are going, if this doesn't work, tutakuwa na Traore. The people that we have our own. And it has to be somebody who is very well funded.
Right. So basically the vile tunaenda, the system will crash by civil servants not getting paid. Then of course watu wataenda maandamano.
Yes, and I think I would suggest something else too on top of it. Break.
No, it's okay.
Watu waanze kufikiria kutoa pesa from banks. Unaona saa hizi nini? Sijui counties wanaenda kwa banks. That one. Ukikopesha nini hao watu, it's your responsibility as a bank to recover your money. si sisi.
Mhm.
So people waanze kutoa nini pesa kwa banks zao. Because is it a fail? It's not fail. I guarantee you they will fail.
You know, it's funny you say that because I remember, was it last year or 2 years ago, where I think it was in Greece, kuna jamaa alienda kutoa pesa, kudwithdraw pesa from his account. Akaambiwa na benki, you cannot. Hatuwezi kupatia, we don't have the money. Hatuna hiyo pesa unaitaka.
Mpaka Nigeria was there, I think last year, before this guy came in. It was there. Kuna limit.
Are we going to get to a similar situation ambayo government are so desperate unaanza kufreeze ninio za watu, accounts za watu?
It will get there. Cause kwenye tuko, hata akidhani ako na parliament hapo, kila kitu, even if they try to kupitisha hizo vitu usiku, legally is not a binding budget.
Right.
So even if you illegally lend to a government illegally, that's on you. And this way unaona IMF iko stuck.
Yeah.
Wamesha make deal, watu wameshalipwa, but now the transaction cannot go through legally. That's what I think.
So that is what they were discussing in Spice. I missed it. You know, I mean, I know maybe you actually went to Niambiati Spice FM are actually skewed. I didn't know that. Me ufikiri hao watu, they are pretty, you know, fair-minded kind of.
No. Hawa wanaletanga experts.
Right.
Unaona watu tunafollow kwa Twitter, mtu ana explain kila kitu vizuri and how kila kitu naenda. This is kind of the people somebody who is an expert, maybe the lawyer of something, legislation lawyer, that kind of person. All watu wana follow hizi vitu mpaka kwa courts.
Yeah. Because I find sometimes wanaleta watu interesting ambao wana explain how, okay, well, Jimmy Wanjigi, I find him interesting kwa sababu wana break down hizo ma debts tuna owe and all that stuff. Alafu, you know, there's also a gentleman who's an economist pia and explain vile government is supposed to, you know, why pesa on the side in case we have a situation like this. Okay. Now, what is the problem with the Nenio? What is the problem with the finance bill? Why is it a matter of the government, okay, the treasury, who are supposed to draft it or whatever the case is? Are they not doing it constitutionally? Ama is it just stalling because they are gun-ho, wanataka ile ya kitambo ipitishwe whether we like it or not? What seems to be the problem? Why are we not having finance bill this year?
I think the issue our finance bill and our finance bills, I suspect from 1963. Tunakujanga tunapatiwa template. Kuna kwenye kumejazwa, the other ones ni mimi mnajazia. That's what the IMF wamekuwa kifanya.
That's true.
And this is why Gen Zs, they were waiting. They have been watching because kila kitu, everything is documented. And tunaongea hapa, tunaongea kwa WhatsApp, tunaongea kwa Signal, tunaongea kwa Telegram. We are doing it. So we know what is happening.
Yes.
Na tunajua this. If this happens, we are done. We are done as a country. Tutakuwa slaves now in our own country, which we are almost now.
We are kind of, but not, you know, which is funny because the owner, like I say, the owner of Mkubwa, the founder of Telegram, alishikwa. He was arrested in France, just in other news. And he's Russian, by the way. So the Russia has sent some diplomats wamwachilie, but it is said that huyo kuna jamaa ali hack into Israeli system and akaanza kurelease the secret information about Israeli government in Telegram. So that's why Israel are not happy about that. So but anyway, that's just Ninio. Here is Ninio, Gen Z. Speaking of Gen Z, naona kama they are revving up their engines for tomorrow.
Yes.
So tomorrow we might have a really interesting day. Wacha nicheze hii video uangalie alafu nipate maoni yako, because I saw this guy in one of those vipindi. I don't know what hizo ma talk shows. I forgot which one. I don't know his name exactly, but he seems to be very, very, very.
Class.
Hold on.
Down with Ruto down. Down with Rigathi down. Down with Raila down.
So today we present ourselves as the National Coordination Committee of People's Assembly to reaffirm our commitment to the defense of homeland against the billionaire class that have come together in form of a broad-based government to continue to suppress and oppress the Kenyan people. That the Kenya Kwanza regime has continuously says that the young people have rejected the dialogue. They have continuously said that they have welcomed us to the State House and we have refused to go. We are taking the correct analysis that the people that went to the street do not want a dialogue with a sworn enemy of the Kenyan people, President William Samoei Ruto. That the people in the streets do not want to take jobs in an illegitimate government that is actually falling on its own weight. And what we are telling the Kenyans today, that tomorrow on Katiba Day, there will be a total shutdown.
And the political class is a wealthy adulterer who think that they can come and steal the wife of anyone that they wish. If you tell me to give this administration time, you are asking us to let children continue studying under trees while people buy soda worth 1 million in the budget. When they come to the ground, they call us hustlers. When they get into office, they call us goons. Is that what you want? No. We are calling for a total shutdown in this country tomorrow. We have been fighting for policemen who live in tin houses, in jerry cans. Policemen who are still using flying toilets. Those are the people who are killing us in the streets.
People of this country, as patriots of Kenya, we have gathered here today to say we cannot continue living in an active crime scene and do nothing about it. We cannot continue.
Hey, umesikia hiyo keke?
Man, sinakwambia. Nakwambia.
Kenya is a crime scene.
Yes.
Haya. But again,
wana abduct watu.
Wameanza kuabduct watu already?
Jana the president wa nini wa University of Nairobi student body.
Yeah. What's his name? Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot his name. Let me find it. I know. I heard about that. He was abducted. I forgot his name. He was trending yesterday. So, you know, you're right. You're on something. Umesema kitu interesting about mambo ya if they cannot pay people not get paid, what will happen is a likely shutdown of the whole system. Kwa sababu no one can work. We cannot get services. So it will force people to actually go to the streets. Hata wale watu walikuwa wataki kumaandamana, ukikosha msahara yako, what are you going to do? Even the policemen. Yeah.
Yes. And there's another aspect I know my thought process is not kind of straight line. There's another part I want us to put pressure on. Military. Its job is to protect the people and the resources. Our resources are getting stolen and we know it. We are tracking it. Where are they? They need to know that we are watching.
Yeah. The problem is that the military takes their command from who? The commander-in-chief, who is William Samoei Ruto as of right now. That's the problem. Unless they defy his orders.
No,
because,
I don't think the avenue is anybody should be kind of naive to think of that way. The reason I mentioned this, I know we have patriot people. Us. We are patriots. We care about ourselves. There's people who went to the military for that purpose. Somebody who know how good our country is. Somebody who have learned about their country, the history of their country. Who knows what is happening? Somebody who is following and seeing this is not okay. This is not okay. Court is not doing their part here. Parliament is not doing their part here. The president is not doing their part there. That kind of person is the one I'm talking to. That person.
I see where you I see where you're going with this. I see. That can happen. I don't know much about how the military structure in Kenya. And one thing I can only say is this. I think since 1982, vile walijaribu kutoa Moi, I think every president after him has always been very careful to put people who are kind of, have the same interest as him, people who are close to him, whether it's their tribesmen or relatives or whatever the case is, their business partners, so that to avoid the possibility of having Ibrahim Traore's situation. But you're right. Watu wakianza kukosa mshahara, hata kama ni best yako utaanza kusema, hey, you know what? Things are not working out. Things are working. Go ahead.
Sorry. Let me go back according to what you just said. Nisema huyu jamaa sio smart vile anafikiria. And let me explain. Unaenda unalipa una bribe the head of the military, you have your goons there. But the people, the 50,000 like civil servants, like the military people, let's say maybe kuna 100 of them who are stealing. The others are not stealing, even if they're your own tribe. Wanaumia kama Wakenya wao wengine. So what does that tell you? There will be a rift. Eventually they will have one. Unasema Traore ni wengi wanangojea the right time. You need nini? Hata hii Ruto government wametumia pesa na hakuna pesa zinakuja. Taxes, tunafika place mpaka taxes. Our banks, we take the money back from our banks. Taxes zinatoka wapi?
KK, you might be right. Kuna kitu, hebu fikiria hivi. Remember, the last time, unakumbuka vile alileta military? So there was reports that, was it pipeline, somewhere, whatever. Ile siku Gen Z was saying they wanted to go to JKIA.
I think.
Yeah. Now, the military walileta kwa ground. And it is reported, especially in Twitter, because you can't hear this in mainstream media. Watu walikuwa nasema, the military actually told the head of what's his name? Yule alichukua nini ya Koome, the position of Koome, wakamwambia, stop shooting watu in their houses, because these people are going to people's houses and lobbing tear gas. And even there's a footage of people celebrating, wanasema jeshi wako na sisi, and they were walking along. In fact, they were being even escorted. Military was escorting the people back from CBD. So there was an understanding, there was nini that military vile walifika, they were not, unajua watu wa military hawana ile ukali ile polisi wako nao. They're not antagonistic. Wako hapo, yes, the reason with you guys, but the police are the ones who wanakuja hapo na chapa watu bunduki. Now after that ndio ilikuja 8-8, si ndio? And 8-8 people were expecting, since watu walikuwa wanataka kujitokeza CBD, people were expecting ati you know what, they will call the military. But Ruto, I think after seeing what happened, the military was interacting with the people, he decided only to bring the police force, but akatumia ile njaro yake was like, any kikundi ambayo is forming, anawatia gas. Nobody was going to CBD, and any kikundi within CBD ambao anajaribu ku gather together, anawatia gas. But he never used the military. He never brought the military in like he did the previous day, the previous maandamano, vile Gen Z wanted to go to JKIA, which means he understands that the military, akiwaleta kwa street, they might sympathize with the people. And yes, go ahead.
Can I just thread another point to make your point?
Go ahead.
Jana, if you follow what Ruto said, again, we follow what he does. Unasikia unasema, he lies a lot. Ni kama a lot of people who lie a lot. You don't follow what he anasema, you follow what he's doing, right? Jana, guess what? If you think about your point, I'll add more point. military is the most learned, kind of, what do you call it? The defense part of the military is the most learned. Unaona mpaka kuingia karao, sijui lazima, it's not a big deal. Military iko na shida. So those people are smart. They can see whatever everybody else is seeing. This is why jana alisema anataka NYS. Like, we need all out NYS.
Kiki ape makofi hapo kwa comment section. Tafadhali. Go ahead.
You see?
Go ahead.
What part training on how to use guns. But ladies and gentlemen, can't you see where this is going? Can you all see where this is going? Let's not be naive.
Kamili. Ani amekupatia kikombe wa World Cup yenyewe, Champions League. You know, it's so funny you say that. You know, I was thinking about it because I saw that niliona kwa Twitter, but I never really thought much about it. But now you've brought it together. How vijana wa NYS, whatever the case is, they'll be trained, anataka watu trained in firearm. Yani wajifundize kuchapa bunduki. Why? Because I think he knows akiangalia mbele, there's most likely kutakuwa na chaos, kutakuwa na civil unrest.
Yes.
And the military, he doesn't want to use the military because he knows the last time he called them, our majamaa, they were siding with the people. Na hata ukiangalia Bangladesh, Venezuela, the same story. Every time you bring the military, hata zinio, ilikuwa Zimbabwe with Mugabe. Si nao ndio waliambia nani, Mugabe ati, Charlie.
I don't think that's the case. I think fear yake ni push enough watu waanze kuumia kabisa kuliko sasa hivi venye tunaumia. Military, akinata wale military zetu waseme this has to stop. This madness has to stop. This is where he is afraid of.
Because whether he likes it or not, because this is vile umesema. The reason why he let a military the last time is because he was overwhelmed. The Gen Z or whoever came out of their Gen Zote walikuwa nje, and they were overwhelming everyone in JKIA. So wale mapolisi walikuwa hapo Nairobi, they were not enough to contain the people who were protesting. So he decided to bring the military. Na kuleta military hapa, ama jamaa, they were more friendly. So either way, like you've just explained, either way, hata kitrain hao watu, if 2-3 million people show up, jamaa, he'll need extra help, and he will have to reach out to the military. And I know that's what he's trying to avoid, because he understands, just like you said, he understands. Jamaa, it's not guaranteed they'll be on my side. Now, that's where, you know, the Traores can, wanaweza kusimama waseme, you know what? This is madness. There are civilians who are our brothers and sisters who are getting shot to death. Not
even that. Wanaona their wealth being stolen, and they know it, and they can track it, and they know how much that money is getting lost outside our country. The development we could have with our resources.
Yes.
And they see this, the impact of this as well in the whole continent. Will be our first on our side. Burkina Faso started on the other side.
Right.
We're in World War III, guys. To World War III. In the last freedom, whatever we call freedom, this is it. This is what is happening. Angalia kama uko 2 years nyuma, tuko nyuma. We can see it, whatever is happening deep down.
Haya, wacha before nimlete Melchizedek hapa, Clean Black Sneakers anasema the rooters of this world have to realize that they don't own the military or the police. The taxpayers pay their salaries and not the leaders like him. Yes, that is true. JPJ anatuambia the whole military coup fetish people have is a fantasy, nothing more. Sawa JPJ, maoni yako, lakini tutaona for the next several days, tutaona nini itafanyika. Melchizedek, karibu sana. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Asira imerudi chini kwa sababu the last time I talked to you ulikasirika hata ukachoma simu.
Yeah, simu yangu sasa natumia iPad kwa sababu simu ilianguka.
Okay, niambie maoni yako. Unaona aje Gen Z kesho watu wanakutana maandamano, walimu wamesema tunataka tulipwe, mapolisi walipi ya kutosha, kila kitu inaanguka, pesa hakuna.
Hiyo ni kitu ambayo nimesupport kwa sababu naona the more tunanyamaza, the more Ruto ana gain hiyo ujinga yake na au manini yao au sijui hiyo inaitwanga parliamentary na whatever.
Wabunge.
Yeah, so today I was in a panel whereby I changed my name so that I can get the chance to talk. You know where I'm talking where I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what. Na huwa naangalia kidogo, nachungulianga huko kidogo, hata naonanga Kiki akienda huko kidogo, lakini Kiki anaendanga after huyo Ayatollah atoke.
Yeah, so I changed my name and went there. They bring a topic that does the 2010 constitution works. Then I just went there as a new guy, and I told them the reality. Then I was kicked out also. So
what was your reality? Can you tell us what? Nani alikuwa huko?
I told them that
pastor was the ninio, ndiye alikuwa na ninio, alikuwa anaendesha kipindi ama ilikuwa mtu mwingine?
There is another guy, but the way I see it, like he said, the network, maybe he just cut me off. Actually, that's not the main topic. I told them like this. Let's not preach the wine and we are drinking water. We are coming here every now and then talking about something, yet we are the people that are encouraging this thing to go on by supporting our leaders that give us the problem every now and then. So you find that when I didn't talk about the politician, for example, Raila or somebody else, I'm unwanted person. This is what is called the corruption that we are talking about. The constitution that you are talking about, you are the people that make it to be the way it is because the way you are doing your things are not right. You bring the platform and you don't want people to say the truth. You don't want people to talk about someone who is giving us the headache every now and then. So where are we heading to?
Nikuulize, my friend.
Yes.
Unaona, hata umesema kitu nimenotice hata mimi. For example, topic ya leo. Jiulize kesho kuna demonstrations. Kuna all these things happening in the background. Why is that not a discussion point? That's the first thing we talk about, the state of our country, right?
Yes.
The state of our country at the moment, leo kuna strikes. Walianza leo, kesho Gen Z and Gen All wanaingia.
Yeah, so when I talked about this, you bring a very good thing that the military and whatever, they are tired of what we are doing. These people also, they are seeing that the government is eating their money. They don't want to be given the money. They are being given the money that even cannot help the family. So who are you fighting for? You are fighting for yourself. And the same person that fighting for you, you are coming to kill. You are not going anywhere, especially police. Police analipa pesa ambao mimi I can pay a police right now 3 times. I swear to God, because the police, when they are following Ruto is the one that making them to be a poor and very stupid. I don't know how I can say it, because we are the people that fighting for them, even them to have the good houses. We are the people fighting for them to have a good salary. But you are coming to kill those who are fighting for you because of the so-called the law, the rules and whatever. So the end of these things is only one person. If we can decided and said that each and every person that is supporting the so-called this regime to go down, it will help us.
You know,
And another thing,
mhm.
I went there when Ruto was talking with the universities. That such kind of platform, it should not be given to have that lies until the day end, because once you give the liar the platform to say anything, it will increase his lies tactics, because that university here he went, these people, they don't want to tell him the truth. It's asking something that not even regarding according to what is happening now. If these people were really serious with what they want, they could have asked Ruto two things that I said I wish I was there. You say that you are dealing with the corruption. How many people have you taken to the court and they are being held for the corruption? The second thing that these people should ask, where are our money that you said is there and the whatever? But these people, they didn't ask. They are just asking for the we need the security or blah blah. These things will not help. So for me to make the change or to say something is that Kenya rebellion, there is one thing that I want to tell you. If we don't change by ourselves, then we cannot change the government that we have, because we are the people who made them to be where they are, and we are the people who are supposed to change them, starting with us. So the only thing that will make each and every person to know that this thing is very serious is you and me. If there is a big change that we have decided to change and say now enough is enough and we want our Kenya to be Kenya, we do the demonstration and we have not changed, nothing we are doing. We talk, there's nothing.
Okay. Kiki, there's something I want to ask you.
Yes.
We know this. You know, I was thinking about this method. Unajua vile hawa watu, these policemen, and even Melchizedek utavurukia Kiki akishajibu. These policemen, the way we take the pictures of them, kuna wale tulipiga picha yao ambao walikuwa na chapa watu bunduki,
Yes.
and we identify them and all that. Why can these Gen Zs or anyone involved in this movement tufanye uninio upelelezi wetu, our investigation of all these police stations, these police units, special units and all that, see who are the members of those units?
Hiyo ni ngumu.
Yeah, why is that?
Hiyo ni ngumu cause usually unasikia kuna mtu alisema kuna kind of, unajua kama private armies zinajengwa pole sahi as we speak.
They are in Kenya right now. There's one called Bancroft, but it's go ahead, sorry.
But there's one now from the same tribe, kind of ni kama umepatiwa, like, what do you call it? In Maumau kuna nasamanga Mauma, like you cannot get out of.
Yani it's a cult kind of, unachukua oath and all that. Okay.
Yes. So kazi yenyu ni hii, and nobody will ever say anything out of it unless somebody we are able to moja ingie. That's why it's harder. But kuna ma pictures all over. Kuna watu nini wana compile all those nini pictures, videos to investigate the names, where they work, where they're from. Kuna nini vitu kaa hizo, but hazija kuja public yet. But kuna a lot of IT people they're doing their part. The engineer, the mining people, they're doing their part towards for the mineral part of it. And the doctors, they're exposing what's wrong with our healthcare system. Teachers the same. So that's why unaona kuna reports pole here and there. And unajua bado, cause ujui who is who, right. You have to be careful too. So unless you reach out to the right people, but there's people who are doing all those investigations.
Okay.
And a lot of lawyers are doing that too, by the way.
Yeah, because I thought that would be a good way of, if we can expose, because even if they have these special units kama vile hayo nini umesema, mi kitu uniuma sana naangalia video za watu ati mtu anatembea you are protesting vizuri, alafu naona watu wamekuja in civilian clothing ati wanakubamba, they just abduct you, wanakuingiza kwa Subaru and unapotea hivyo. So for them to do that, na unaona wanafanyanga hivyo mbele ya ile lori ya ninio inaitwaje, I forgot that I forgot that lori imebeba the anti riot police, which means those police ambao riot police wameka hapo, they know who these people are, wako kwa Subaru ambao wamejifunika na mashuka ninio. So that's why I'm saying if Gen Z, because Gen Zs are very very sophisticated, si wale wa ninio watu wa kuchoma choma ninio sijui nini. I'm just saying vile and you've rightfully said, wanachukua picha yao watu, and if you can go further, maybe with the fans of Jimmy Wanjigi and whoever else who wants to support this movement, just take a list of the police officers ambao wametoka kwa hii station, and then we try to tukuna ka investigating unit yetu ambao tunaangalia ni nani wametoka kwa station gani, so that in the future we can hold them accountable for the people that they have shot down or they've abducted and have never been seen again. That I think is a way of pressuring these police wajue kwamba hata ukichapa mtu bunduki jua utaface the law in the future.
A lot of people are doing this. LSK is the lead charge of this. Walianza kusema they have been doing this. A lot of individuals are doing that on their own to compare eventually when we have to have a tribunal after this. It has to happen. So the other thing I wanted to connect another dot. Nikuambia kuna pesa.
Yes.
Don't forget we became the security that we sent to Haiti. Hawajalipa for 2 months. Don't forget the US walituma hiyo pesa. If I'm not wrong. So right. Watu wakakula hiyo pesa na hakuna pesa. Niambie already the civil servants, hata police, military. Kila mtu anaona hivyo, hata kama uko loyal to the guy. Where are you going?
Hey, good point. Melchizedek, kesho hii maandamano ni the whole country ama ni Nairobi tu hapa ndio tunakutana, ama habari ambayo unapata huko ni umepata habari namna gani? Maana naona Nyanza, nani amesema naenda Nyanza next week. Rais anaenda Nyanza sijui homecoming ya sijui nini. I don't even understand. Hebu nieleze, maoni yako ni namna gani?
I think according to my view naona ni Nairobi, kwa sababu last time watu wa Kisumu walisema sasa baba aliingia serikali, wao wamekanyaga maneno ya maandamano juu wako na bado ile inaitwanga ile politics ya ukabila. And this is something that will always killing us, because tumelala masikio na bado tuko dandas. Yani Mjaluo, yani hata mimi nilikuwa nataka nilikuwa ni Bangladesh baba. Ningekuwa tu ipo direct kama nini. Nibadilisha tu nikuwe Bangladesh, nianze kuongea lugha yao. Niache hii maneno ya Ujaluo ni juu. Sijui sisi tulizaliwa wapi. Si kwa ubaya. Tuko Wajaluo wengi, but we don't think. We don't think at all.
Lakini
how can you die or how can you talk about ati sahi tumepatwa Mbadi, amepatwa nini, so we are safe? How safe are you?
Ndio maana naona hao vijana especially the university children ambao walikuwa nauliza maswali hapo. To me, I thought, I haven't watched the hiyo ya university ya Ruto. I think it was a control crowd in my opinion. But let me say this. Hao vijana wa university. Unajua mtoto wa university, ukienda university your eyes are opening. Hata kama umetoka Kisumu, you are going to mingle with Kamau na mingle with Kipkalias. It's a mixture of every kabila. But I'm saying this. wanafika wako university and you learn about communism, socialism na hizo mambo mingi. So I think for the young folks especially, that's why I'm so excited about this movement, kwa sababu wale vijana wako college wanaona hawataweza kuafford kuenda shule kupata hii education wanataka. So wakiangalia wanasema unajua nini, we are also going to put fire on this, add wood on this fire, because mimi ni kijana nilikuwa I'm hoping to finish 4 years in this college, lakini inaonekana with this new fee structure I will not make it. So why not, I'm joining the gang, na join Gen Z movement. Wale walimu pia tumeona wanaingia pia hivyo, mapolisi wengine wataingia. Niambie.
Kama tulikuwa watu wazuri, kusema ukweli, tunaenda shule ili tukue na future mzuri, ili kesho hata familia yetu ikuwe na future nzuri, si ndio? Na unapata ya kwamba uliwatch hiyo kitu last time, I think some 1 month ago, after hii maneno ya CS imeisha. I've not said all Wajaluo, unaona, but there are some laws that are still dragging us behind by doing this. Ukisema ya kwamba you are satisfied with the CS that you see, yet the CS that you are talking about will not bring food on the table, on your own table, not other people. And you find that wako kwa hiyo group, yuko karende more than, unajua ukisha kuwa more than 10 people, you can influence a lot of people, si ndio? Nasema kama watu 10 ndio walisema baba ni mzuri, mimi ni nani nikatae?
No. Lakini Melchizedek mpaka ni watetee kidogo, kwa sababu hata ukiona voting ya last time ya 2022 si Wajaluo wengi walijitokeza. Nyanza province voting was very low, which was an indication ati watu wakukubaliana na hii mambo ya baba. Unajua vile aliungana na Uhuru hapo.
So we already know that baba is a failure. So even if vote.
So to my point, I'm saying this, wewe ukifikiria kwa kimakini kweli, do you think hata 2027 ikifika hao Wajaluo hata kama ni wamewapatia CS, do you think they'll vote for Ruto kweli? Because me I see they are very similar to what is happening in Mount Kenya. The Mount Kenya people, they have realized that Ruto ni muongo. Some of them voted because they didn't agree with this whole Uhuru kushikana na Raila. But I'm saying this, they are seeing the conmanship in Ruto also. Na wanasema jamaa hata kama anaweka wakina Ndindi Nyoro hapa, we are not voting him. Na ndio nasema pia even in Nyanza, even though ameandika kama CSs na wakina Mbadi na sijui, I don't think these people will vote for Ruto. Sidhani watapigia Ruto votes. I don't think so. Ama ni
Okay. That's your view or your opinion. The way I'm seeing it, it's fine. Some people will not vote because of what we are seeing. Wenye wamesha kuwa werevu, hawatakanyaga polling station ndio watampigia Ruto. Hiyo ni ukweli. But there are some people, they still believe in hii tunasemanga chapa ilale, unaona? So the way these people talk made me to have some thing behind it, because you remember when the watu wa bodaboda walitojitokelezea wakasema sisi tumechoka na maneno ya kuenda maandamano Kisumu, hakuna nini maandamano, na hivyo ndio maandamano iliisha Kisumu. Last time sifanye maandamano ilifanyika na Homa Bay County, the whole Homa Bay County, the whole Kisumu County. Nothing happened. Watu wa Mombasa walitoka, watu wa Nairobi walitoka, na watu wa Eldoret walitoka kidogo, if I'm not wrong. But if you see how these people are doing their things, it's different, because we rely on today's money and tomorrow we don't think tomorrow.
Okay.
We find you remember when these people are going to nani huko celebrations sijui homecoming ya nani ya niko na
Lakini
hiyo video, kuna
lakini
video
lakini unajua wanaenda huko kwa sababu wengine wanalipwa, wengine wanaenda huko kwa sababu watakula, because there's poverty. Ndio maana nasema angalia hata ile ninio, na Keke nataka pia kunikuingize hapa unijibu. Hata ukiangalia kwa ile platform nyingine ambao ni watu wa baba kabisa, ukisema baba tu chap unatoba, ukisema everything besides baba. Lakini ukienda kwa hiyo channel uende usiku hivi kama Ayatollah shatoka, utaona
kidogo. Just I'm coming back maybe after 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay, but I'm just saying this, KK, ukininio. If you see that, ukienda hata kwa hiyo channel, you see there's a civil war. Kuna wale watu the staunch Raila supporters na kuna wale watu ambao they used to be staunch Raila supporters, but they are seeing that it is no longer about tribal groupings. Ni uchumi. This is about the people's interest. And it's clear, especially since Raila akakuja katumao wakina Joho na ninio. So that's why I'm saying I was trying to liken the whole what is happening in Mount Kenya and Nyanza province. Ndio Nyanza wamenyamaza because, you know, most of them, the youths are poor, so wakilipo waseme endeni maandamano, whatever the cases, they do that. But the general consensus is that Ruto is a failure and Raila is a failure too by joining him as a letdown.
Unajua, you know, sometimes if you think about it, I think, unajua how you know somebody is mad?
Yeah.
You continue doing the same mistake and even if mtu akuja kuslap hapo, you can see it.
Yeah.
These people are like that, which is kind of, this is what the struggle is of what the Gen Zs have, na ni shida kidogo sana. And this is what the West invested in a lot. If you think about it, they invested a lot in having this tribal, you know, mtu sijui Mkikuyu nani ndio anasema, ako kwa box yao, na anajua akiingia, he's following the rules, nini wamempatia finance na niweze kuran, right? Then there's others, ulijifunga hapo, so you can't even see. You may invest so much your emotions, your feelings, your life itself. So you're in denial. You cannot see. You cannot change that. Now that's what unaona. Na kuna wengine pia, they have so much to lose because wamekuwa part of the problems in the past. We cannot forget that. Kuna watu wanaongea kati yetu wamekuwa part of the problems, mbona tuko hapa. It's a fact. Na sio kusema kuvote, maybe wanafanya mpaka bad deals involved in corruption. That's why they don't want us to go and clean up everything, because even them, they have financial interests to lose. Yes. So we cannot be fooled.
Yeah, that is correct. Me, I'm just, you know, I follow different platforms like your platform to the same. I mean, they have very staunch ODM supporters. And you see, wameona ukweli. They are starting to see the truth that, hey, hii chama tulikuwa na support. These people are the same. The political class are the same. Wanatumia tu mambo ya ukabila because they all have the, wamejua, if ama Gen Z, if Gen Z actually take over kwa power, like you said, all of them will go down. Your political, your business zao, hizo corrupt deals wanna make, they will have nothing to stand on. So they have to fight these Gen Z's people. Ndio maana unaona, you know, they are meeting up and kukutana. So I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Melchizedek, naona umerudi. Ulikuwa unataka kumaliza point yako? Sorry, KK, go ahead.
Now usisahau pia, even us, some of us are very selfish, self-centered. We have our own goals. We have our own ambitions. So kuna mtu anaangalia ako in between. Don't forget, Kenyans are very greedy. We are very greedy. It's true. We are greedy, selfish, self-centered people. That's who we are.
Yeah, but you know, me, I don't have a problem with somebody who is ambition yake ni kuwa politician. I'm not talking about corruption. I'm talking about if you want to be a politician, like Kasmuel, I don't have a problem with him per se. Akisema anataka kuwa politician. That's fine. some people feel like they can make a change, and that's okay. And I'll make a change ufike hapo. But if your goal is to become a goal ya every other politician, I'll use this Gen Z movement, nifike nikuwa MP, nikishakuwa MP,
I do my thing.
Exactly. That is why, and to me, that's why I follow what these young folks are saying very closely, especially the faces of this Gen Z movement. Ndio maana mi ukwanga hapa, I mentioned the Casmers and the Hanifa and all that stuff, because I want to see if they're consistent and what really they're going for. Kwa sababu mpaka tuwapime vizuri kabla hawajafika huko, kwa nini huko iko Ikulu or whatever the case they're going to, because if we can't vet them now, once wafike huko, I'm telling you, we shall go back to Ninio 1. And that's why I was not happy with seeing him rub shoulders with the Gesa and Sonko. I was like, what are you doing?
No, shida yake, and if you look vizuri, he's kind of he's a good kid, but you can tell he's too ambitious. He's kind of an opportunist, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. The only issue is kuna venye nani hiyo jina sio nikaspell man model. Kuna kitu alisema sisi we have to change. We don't need them to change. Sisi need to change. We are the one changing our country.
But here's the thing though. I don't think we need to change that much, because the rules of the game are already spelled out. Tuko na constitution. Unaona? So hata ukifika katika hiyo position ya kuwa MP or CS or governor or president, whatever the case is, you should be ruled by the rule of law. Yani unafuata ya katiba, and there will be no problems. The thing is, Ruto, ye katiba alisema hiyo ni kitu ya kitambo. And by the way, I don't know what's with these people who are saying that we need to change the constitution. Why should we change the constitution? What part of the constitution do you want to change? Nini mbaya na hii constitution ya 2010 ambayo tuko nayo? That's the thing. That's why when I agree that it has to start with us. Sisi mwenyewe tuwajiangalie kindani. Lakini for any public official that's been appointed, ambaye amevotiwa and is there, they should follow the rules of law. That is the protection that we have. So hata kama unataka kuwa ambitious, unataka kufika huko, ukifika huko bora ufuate katiba, sisi hatuna shida na wewe. Melchizedek.
Yes.
Katiba, go ahead KK. Ama uko na kitu kusema?
Yes.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, Melchizedek.
Yes, nakusikia.
Ulikuwa na maoni ambao kumaliza ama?
Yes. Nilikuwa nimeakiwa hapa kidogo.
Ruto amekushika na kufuata, amesikia unataka kwenda maandamano.
Alinifanyia ile kitu.
Haya, sikia vijana kidogo kabla hujatoa maoni yako. Sikia vijana kidogo. Wanasema kitu hapa inawasha Ruto. Haya ndio hao.
Sorry for what Kenya is being forced to do by the United States. Our African brothers and sisters, therefore to the people of Haiti, let me just start off by saying we are sorry. We are so sorry for what Kenya is being forced to do by the United States. We are not complicit. We are not actively supporting Ruto. In fact, if you want information to kill the police officers who are going to Haiti, I am sure we can help. But what I want to say is the police have been brutal on the streets. And these are the same police who are being sent outside of Kenya. Kenyans, if you do not want to live in a world full of injustice, it has to start at home. We cannot let these police be brutal on the streets of Kenya and expect us to go scot-free. To the police, remember the word sisters are.
Unaona, hao vijana wanaelewa shida ni kuwa Ruto ni shida na, and that's why I said from the get-go, I like this Gen Z movement because majority of them, they understand the root cause ya hii problem. Ruto ni shida ndio, lakini kuna watu ambao wanataka Ruto akae kwa hiyo kiti. Na ni watu ambao wametoka katika nchi za nje. That's why I say I like this movement. They understand it. I don't like the part that you say that tutakusaidia kumaliza mapolisi. I'm not advocating for that. But I support that statement. Clean Blacks nini anasema there needs to be amendments to the constitution though. What amendments? Tell me what part of the constitution that you feel needs to be changed. Yeah.
The big part of the whole thing, there's so much wastage in we are being overrepresented. We're too overrepresented.
Okay.
Reduce, that's the biggest thing that need to be done. We'll save more than maybe a third or even half of how much we spend on the MPs, the civil servants, in the top side of the civil servants. And that half of it need to be brought down to the common, the poor civil servants, the teachers, the police, nurses. That one you can be able to balance the whole thing up and still uplift a big part of the economy. More money to the poor people. They spend more.
I think the MPs don't have the power to raise their own salaries any longer. The previous constitution iliwapatia power to do that, but not anymore, even though you know how Kenya is. There are some parts of constitution that these people do not want to implement. But anyway, all right. Hebu tuangalie hapa. Maandamano ni kesho jamani. Mko ready? Sijui kama mimi niliona warm up imefanyika, Kasmuel wameenda kwa ninio. Like I said, kesho mimi nitakuwa hapa the whole day. Kesho nimechukua off. Sifanyi kitu. Nitakuwa hapa. So okay, I will be here. I will be following you very.
United shall never be defeated. Bila Ruto yote yawezekana. 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 Bila Ruto yote yawezekana.
Haya, mmeona hiyo imeanza kesho. I don't know, I think it's for those of you who live I know nani uko Saudi Arabia somewhere. I don't know what the time ninio is, lakini I think by saa 9 usiku where I am, mambo itakuwa imeanza huko Kenya. So I'll be looking at the ubaya. There's one thing too also that I'm not happy about. The mainstream media do not want to broadcast the maandamanos anymore. I don't know if you've realized that. I know, KK, you're very in your
Yes, I told you that last week. There's a huge void. You can tell even the other channel. They stopped the whole thing. So somebody has to tell me. And I think, no, the other channel, they don't want to go.
Oh, hataki kuongea hiyo maneno.
Yeah, so there's out of us, we're following whatever is happening on the ground. We don't care about when mtu atatuambia to discuss nani. We're talking about what is. So I think there's an avenue. If you can be able to avail yourself, I think today we can be able to reach a lot of people.
Absolutely. Sijui mnataka nianze saa ngapi, wherever you guys are, I'll start morning my time. Na tutaendelea hivyo. Nataka watu, there's a sense of urgency. Mi naambia hii kitu, I am so excited that there are a lot of people who are thinking the way majority of us have been thinking. That's why tulianza machannel kama hizi. We wanted to speak. Kuna wachoka naangalia hizi platforms zingine and they look like people who have been paid. Yani wezi discuss vitu unataka kudiscuss. Ukileta hizi points zina affect watu, they don't want to discuss that. Unakata.
Yes. Nimeona nani amekuja hapa akaanza contribute the other part. After some time, our older gentleman akakuja akaanza kuambia tokea nini, anza discuss hii topic before we say anything else. I'm like, what is this? Kwa nini shule? Ama naingia cult? I mean, ni kama mtu anapatiwa nini? Ni kama mtu anaandikiwa question, muongee hii leo. If you look at those questions, they are very mellow. They are kind of now to distract.
Yes.
So that's why I think something is happening, and eventually utajua. Anything that happens nowadays, you get tracked. You get paid. We track that too.
Absolutely. I won't be surprised. But to me, what eats me more is the dishonesty. Unajua kama okay, kama umelipwa or whatever umedecide mimi nitakuwa nasimamia, I'll be defending Ruto ama Raila or whoever. Be ninio inaitwaje?
A man about it.
Right. Or be open about it. Seme mimi.
But you see, the point is to deceive. It's not. It's a fake. It's a facade. They want to show you we are being a part of the thing, but we're trying to slow you down too. They're slowing us from where we are, or the way they are trying to slow the Kenyans where they are too.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, guys.
Mi hiyo kitu ndio nauma sana. Don't pretend. Just sema kama uko na serikali wanakutupia kitu kidogo.
Hey guys,
be part of it. All right.
Someone told me to talk about this video trending about IMF and World Bank recruiting African tax collectors, borderless tax collectors, those people who will be loyal to them and not loyal to the country. So under what law does it say that sisi tunapeana our entire financial system kwa IMF and World Bank atiwaran our financial system? And it clearly makes total sense why the IMF guy went to meet Mbadi. Kesho yake Mbadi akaanza kusema they are going to restructure the entire KRA system so to avoid tax evasion. So these people think we are just going to sit and watch while they implement these things, knowing this is part of the agenda that they discussed was supposed to be implemented by end of this year, 2024. CC. And the constitution does not allow that. Anything that these people are trying to implement will have to go through us. If it doesn't go through public participation, guys, these people will have sleepless nights. Na tunasikia wao mzae pia wanapanga na Ruto kwenda Nyanza. You go and try, because Nyanza pia hata sisi Raila tulishangi, Mbadi atulishi. The price of fuel is just the same for everyone else. The price of food is the same for everyone else. So this political class should know that we do not trust them at all. Anything they try to come up with, we will checkmate and balance it.
Hey, Melchizedek ndio huyo. Ulikuwa unasema ati sijui watu wa sijui Nyanza unasikia? Sijui okay. Utasema nini?
Nimesikia, sijakataa.
Oh, sorry.
Na ninakwambia si hiyo function inakuja. Tusitumie blanketi kama bado iko nini, iko kwa maji. Hautalala. Utasikia mpaka utuke.
Sijasikia hiyo msemo lakini I like it. Tusitumie blanketi kama iko na maji.
Au situmie. Utaona. Saa baba, tunajua watu wa Nyanza. Once baba ametokelezea na aseme haya. Ni kama tumerogwa baba. This is the reality. Mimi sisemi kitu yenye sioni. Mimi ni mjaka. Sitaki kudanganya.
Ni ukweli lakini I think things are changing. That's my point. I don't disagree with you, but I think it's changing.
It will change a bit by a bit, but this time around hata waweke hiyo sherehe wapi. You will see watu wameenda hapo bila kulipwa vile Ruto akienda mahali analipwa. It's a big difference. People will go there like something else. Baba is coming. But what you do the balance and everything, but on the ground, some people are still letting you down. So it's not something that inasema kwa sababu niko na chuki na mtu, but this is the reality. I'm not sorry.
Keke, hebu tusikie Keke, alafu turudi kwa nani mechezi. Okay, Keke endelea.
I think ile kitu ningekushow Kenyan unasema, I think if you look at the data stats wise, I think the population you mention is probably like 30%. Unajua kuna wale utoko, but that if you look at the electorate, like the group when you vote, it's so small, kind of negligible, and this is why this guy is afraid. But whatever you say is true. Continue, I'm sorry. Mistake. Continue, please. Hello? Kuna mtu anisikia?
Unanisikia? Hello?
Hey, kwani nini ime happen ameishia?
Nini?
Nini imefanyika?
I think nini imeclog out or something. Is it?
Mimi ndio nimelogiwa out ama?
Yeah, I think so.
Ai, nyinyi kwani mnatumia ninio gani?
Yeah, so niko nasema I think venye anasema kuna hiyo population ni ka 30% ya wale watu nini, the whole population ya kila mtu. But if you look at the composition ya how much it matters in terms of the voting block, it's not that much.
Right. Ndio nasema the older generation. Mimi nasema this younger generation, they're not having it. They can see through this. They didn't grow up with that enigma and all this nonsense. They can see through the nonsense. So and this is a perfect example. Let me just show you this. This is a perfect example that I'm trying to get. I'll try to get contacts of this lady. I'm not a fan of her, but he landed her in problems. Let's just watch this real quick.
Is not a reformist. Raila Odinga is not a reformist. He's a shameless opportunist who has been riding on the blood of Kenyans to create wealth for himself, his clique, and his family. He has been playing us unabashedly like Ronaldinho for eons. With Moi, it was cooperating with Kanu. With Kibaki, it was nusu mkate. With Uhuru, it was handshake for the sake of peace. With Ruto, after youths were murdered and brains scattered on pavements in the streets of Nairobi, it's broad-based government. The Ayatollah of Opoda has held the Luo community ransom. Parliament, on the other hand, is filled by rotten, nefarious, greedy thugs and hooligans in expensive suits who gives budget hundreds of millions to a silly office like that one of Rachel Ruto as if power is sexually transmitted, while many kids out here are going without food or access to education, which is and ought to be a basic right. We do not have a country. We have a cabal of thieves, and we must reclaim back our country from these paragons of mediocrity. For this and more, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll have access to more of Unapologetically.
Please subscribe to her channel mkipata nafasi tafadhali. Usually her tweets about her sexapades do not interest me, but the fact that she's bold enough to come and speak about what most people from Luo Nyanza are afraid to speak of, or if they do speak about it, they ostracize them or ignore them. So I feel Diomana, I thought after that, and also the things she said about Duale and all that, that is what landed her in hot soup. Now I think since ashike hiyo kesi yake ya ujinga alishikwa nayo, she hasn't spoken anything. She hasn't talked on any major. I don't think she still has speaks on her channel. Somebody
Actually, nimeona watu wakimtafuta on Twitter. They want to make sure she's okay. Hata kama amenyamaza, people want to verify if she is well and healthy and not being held against her will.
Right, because hata vile alitoka kwa ile kotini, and I mentioned this, vile alitoka kwa ile kotini, she was in tears kumbuka alikuwa abducted, so we don't know what they did to her vile alipelekwa huko kwa nini huko hizo dungeons ambao wanapelekanga watu. So we need to check on her. I'm trying to get this guy to give me her contacts, but everyone, it's hard to get people to give their contacts, because especially now I don't think she will come to a channel like this to talk that talk, being given the fact that ametoka kwa hiyo kesi. So I hope she's okay. Subscribe to the channel kama mnataka kwenda kufuata Melchizedek. So hiyo ndio kitu nakwambia, hawa vijana wadogo hii mambo ya sijui Tirengenya Gwambo, they are not buying it. They are not boarding. Wamesema hiyo, and that's what I like. The younger folks, that's why I'm saying university, that's the mistake Ruto is making with this funding model. You are going to ostracize a lot of young people. Na hawa vijana, these are the engine of the society. Na kama wakikukataa, enda katafute hizo ami zako na sijui wajaribu kuwastopisha, because they are coming for you, Ruto. Jimmy Wanjigi told him, I'm coming for you. He has money, he has influence, he can make things happen. Now vijana hawakutaki, they are willing to use that money they are going to Jimmy Wanjigi to come take you out. That's why I'm saying Ruto 2024 sidhani ka utakuwa hapo. I don't know. Kesho will be an example. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Because there's so much. Yeah.
Na unajua ile kitu he doesn't get.
Yeah.
And most of the political class don't get. Hao watoto wako na time. Hawana kazi.
Oh yeah.
Sisi wenye wanini civil servants huko.
Yeah.
Hawana kazi, kaa ulipi unaenda kazi kufanya nini?
Exactly.
So this is where we are. There's nowhere for him to go. Ataanza kuwa nini crazy now. More abductions, more killings. And this will be his last kick of a dying horse. Mark my words.
Yeah, I've said that. I've said that before. These are the last kicks of a dying horse. And before hata ukiangalia the story ya what's that, Bangladesh. The last Ninio before atolewe, she was getting very desperate. Alikuwa anaambia polisi wachape, shoot people. There was a bunch of people walidedishwa. Bangladesh, let's not get this twisted. A lot of young people got shot on the streets of Bangladesh through police. Wakaita army wakaingia because they were so overwhelmed, because police walikuwa overwhelmed. The reason why they overwhelmed huyo mama mpaka katoka is because walisema tunaenda kwa streets na tutoke kwa streets mpaka huyo mama atoke. It was si ile ati maandamano ati tunaenda Tuesday alafu tunangoja Thursday alafu tutarudi tena ile next Thursday. No. Wale walijitokeza and they were like, we are not leaving the streets mpaka huyo mama atoke. Unaona? Wakaita mapolisi, police started killing people. Nini ikafika mahali hapa the police wana work shifts 3. Asubuhi, afternoon, usiku. They were exhausted. Wengine wakaanza kutoa uniform, wakaanza kujoin maandamano. Unaona? Wakaita army because some of them were getting killed, wengine wana targetiwa nyumbani. Wakaita army kaangalia hivyo kasema, you know what, we can't be killing our brothers. Sisi we are trained to fight against foreign forces. Ni watu wetu, Bangladesh wetu. They went and gave the Prime Minister of Bangladesh 48 hours to leave the country. After, I don't know, was it a month or 2 of protest? So this thing can work, but in Kenya, and the funny thing is that we actually inspired them. Kenyans inspired the Bangladeshi people, the Bangladeshi youth. So to me, I always say this is a battle of wills. Does the Gen Zs ambao wanataka kujitokeza kesho, do they have that will ya kukaa hapo waseme we are going to stay here until Ruto atolewe, or is it just going to be twende asubuhi, evening ikifika tuishie? Juu unajua ikiwa hivyo, and I'm not knocking them for doing that because kila mtu ako na ni life yako. I'm not telling you to go out there kufe for no reason. I mean, if you feel that's what you need, ikikufika hapo, go do it. You know, if you feel like, hey, listen, mimi niko na watu hii, mimi naenda home, that's fine too. You will not be judged. But I'm saying this, in order to remove Ruto, it's a battle of wills. Ruto naona nyinyi mtaenda hapo, mkikaa mtaenda KFC, nyinyi watoto wadosi mtaenda hivyo. But if you stay there and say, we are not leaving till this guy leaves, Ruto will have no choice but to leave Ninio. Because he already showed you how makarao, they cannot withstand this. Ndio maana walileta majeshi. So that's the question. And that's why he's not bringing the army, because he knows, just like we discussed with KK here, ameenda kwa Ninio, hao mayouth wa Ninio wa train kutumia bunduki. So it's possible. Your will is who will determine who is going to win between this and you. Ruto is a coward. Wacha niwaambie, ni coward. Even nani vile alikuwa na ninio, people were protesting under ninio Kenyatta. Kenyatta never called the army. He never. Huyu jamaa siku mbili after aliona ninio ilifanyika hapo kwa ninio kwa mbunge, called the army and it backfired. So that's why I'm saying it just depends. I'm not part of the organization. Ninio part of the organizing of Gen Z. I wish I knew what was going on. But if I was part of the organization, that's what I'll do. I'll try to mobilize people. And I think it's happening, because now you see the teachers, boda, hao vile keke anatuambia watu walipi hapo serikali, civil servants, they're coming all together to protest. And if they decide they're going to stay in the streets till Ruto, you leave, Ruto, tafuta ndege ya kwenda Congo. So I think that's a possibility, but we'll wait and see what will happen tomorrow. Like I said, I'll be here. Melchizedek, maoni yako, as it's been 1 hour 21 minutes. Maoni yako, if you just wrap it up now, unless you have something that you want to explore and talk about, niambie maoni yako.
Nilikuwa nimeona ukienda nikadhani umeenda kabisa.
Sijaenda. Mimi niko hapa. Mngine ukitaka kuendelea another 30 to 15 minutes, we can go, but it's up to you. It's up to you.
Until maandamano ends, so we know that you are serious. Anyway,
kesho nitaingia hapa bila shati. No, I'm joking. It's a joke.
Mimi nimechukua off, sio mchezo.
Kesho is tomorrow. Thank you.
Na nimeweza kujiprepare hapa na vitu zangu.
Na filimbi
mbaya sana. Kama ni kutuma pesa wenye wamepigwa nini waende hospitali, I will be there to assist, because I'm ready for everything.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm really, it really moves me to see these young folks, way younger than me. Ama jamaa kuna moto wengine in their stomach ambao you cannot believe. It moves me. KK, maoni yako?
I think ile kitu, I would like to kind of challenge kila mtu. Tuko hapa kila mtu, we are talking, tunaongea. We have to do our part. Kesho, whatever you have to do, whatever need to be done, we have to do it. Somebody has to do it. Na tusongeje the next person to do it. Do your part. Hata kama huko tuma something for nini, watu, maji, whatever. Fair. Do your part. Try to connect whatever you see in the kitu na catch up na you. Kama kuna social medias, make sure kwenye huko in a trend. So this kila mtu anaweza ona. We have to do our part kwenye tuko. Sisi wote.
Absolutely. And I will do my part. Jaribu hapa. I mean, I try to, like I said, I like the X spaces, but by our X spaces unapata watu wanaingia mob, then you have like 5 people who are talking. So hata ukijaribu kutoa point yako, uko kwa line ndefu, you won't even get that nafasi ya kutoa hiyo point yako. So it's really hard, but they are helpful because unasikia maoni ya watu. So that's why hey, I'm just one voice, but kaka voice yangu kadogo hapa na, I'm telling you, by the way, I don't know if you guys were here, majority of the subscribers here on the 25th of June. Listen, I had 3,000 people watching live, and I had phone calls that I've never had phone calls. Hey, Maze, thank you. And I was just a freaking small YouTuber that was speaking. But now you hear people telling you, you know what, thank you, we want to provide a platform yako, man. I was listening to what you're saying, tumepata nafasi ya tunaweza kuongea. So never underestimate the neo ambao you are rich. Hata kama wewe ni Melchizedek kama KK unaingia hapo unasema utakuta mtu anasema Charlie, nilisikia mtu KK alitoa point nyingine kali hapo kwa your channel. That's how it is. So do your little part. Kama ni kutuma pesa vile Keke amesema. I think I saw ninio kwa page ya Miguna ya pale those diaspora in US and Canada. Kuna banki ya Wells Fargo. I think you can send money there. Ambao ni ya Kenya diaspora ambao natumia watu for that movement. So you can do that. And also these X Spaces, you get more information from them because they'll tell you who to send money to, who to connect with, and all that stuff. That's the importance. Paka tu kutane pamoja, we have to speak. And Ninio, some other channels are nice. Also, you can go to other Ninio platforms. They talk about the same things, but wengine kama vile tunasema, they're kind of controlled. So me, like I said, I hate being controlled as far as what I can say and what I cannot say. Hiyo ni kitu siaki. So the same thing, hata mtu wa Ruto akiingia hapa akianza kuargue na mimi, I'll give them the time to speak because they have to speak. Hata kama nasikia kusema no, wacha ongee. Because me pia I hate when somebody akisema we hiyo maoni yako I don't like it. So that's the whole point. Platform iko hapa, small following, lakini tunaendelea tu hivyo strong. So that's why, share the link with watu mko na WhatsApp group. I need to get on WhatsApp. Nilikuwa na WhatsApp, my simu yangu ikapotea. I lost my phone, everything. It was an iPhone. iPhone mpya ni a lot of money, but I'll try to get another one. Niingia hizo WhatsApp group zenu na za kila mtu. And, share it. Facebook, all that. Yeah.
Usa studio ngewe ununue simu bwana. Nini wewe?
Ati usa studio. Nitajaribu. Naonanga wakida clean black sneakers alitumia kitu kidogo hapa, nikaona nimeweka kwa piggy bank yangu, iPhone mpya itaingia. But listen, one thing I always tell people, me, as much as I like watu wani support channel yangu, I'm very hesitant watu wanitumie do. You know why? Look at what's happening with Hanifa. Look at what's happening in hata hiyo channel nyingine mlitoka. So many people kusania do. Because ukianza kuambia watu support me do. Now you start looking like we chali kumbe unafanya hiki kitu ya do. So please do not. If you want to, fine, but I don't need it. I'll appreciate it, but don't do it. If kama una do
usikue pastor.
Exactly. Usikue pastor. So there are a couple of people who have said, I appreciate it, but don't feel obliged. I would rather you subscribe, hiyo ni support ya kutosha. Like the video, pass it around. The message is what I want people to get. It's not about the money. Ni message. Hata mimi kuna every other channel wakiingia hapa huwa mimi na promote channel zao, wanaambia and then hiyo pia there's another voice up there mwende mka promote, because it's not about one person, it's about the movement. Ndio hata sisi siku nyingine tukua na Kenya ambao tunaweza kurudi tunakunywa kahawa and we enjoy ourselves, because that's what we are fighting for in our capacity. Yes.
I hope tomorrow Olesa Pete will not come. The Jesus of Jesus of Ruto will come and say that you need to stop Mandamano. I really hate this guy, man. I don't know how I can meet this guy.
Olesa Pete.
I really hate this guy to the end of my breath. This guy will never go to heaven, no?
By the way, I don't know where where's the maandamano inafanyika downtown Nairobi ama ni wapi? I still hiyo Ninio haikusema. Did that Ninio say it? The hiyo hebu nitafute hiyo. Where is that? Natafuta hiyo Ninio. Unakumbuka hiyo inaitwa flyer.
This time round today they have done something very nice. Nobody knew that today is what's maandamano, you know?
Yeah, it's been building up pole.
Yeah, yesterday, which means that even tomorrow, today, we might go somewhere. I will not reveal for you unless Nimeku text, but I know where people will go.
There was a flyer.
Yeah. There is a secret somewhere, so you don't need to dig deeper. You will sink inside the hole.
You want to catch me? By the way, there's a law, but muliona ile law yani Mbere MP was anajaribu kupitisha ya Ninio ati ya kustop maandamano. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Si watu wanacheza na watu. Unajua? Let's be serious. Unajua watu, people think they are gods. People people, muna confuse.
Huyu
Msicheze na
muizi, sasa huyo muizi anasema nini? Sasa
Si mnaona hiyo anaitwa Ruku anti-demos.
these are Ruto's people, man. These are Ruto people. Si Ruto alilipa huyu jamaa aende a defend kwa nani chene.
jiulize. Kama unajua nchi yako inaenda kukufa, and this is a guy who is holding you back, what do you think you're doing to those people who are looking at that face? Keep doing it. While Ruto alikuwa nauliza, who is funding the Gen Zs? It's him. Him anaenda kwa TV anasema another lie, anakasirisha watu mu. He is the fuel of the whole thing.
Ruto is the ones funding the Gen Zs.
Na hajui ama he's too naive or arrogant. Oh, he's a social. He's a psychopath.
Yeye anafund na hajui. Kama angekuwa mtu mzuri angenyamaza.
He lacks it.
Angenyamaza.
Na alirudisha wale watu walifukuza. That's what even is going to make even the Gen Zs even more mad. Ati Moses Kuria, Walo, na who was the third one ambao amewarudisha?
Bandi?
No, but Badi alikuwa yuko before that. These are three people. Huh?
Jamaa mwingine hapo alirudisha.
Yeah, three people who are not part of the Ninio, three people who are in the previous government, CSS, amewarudisha tena, and people are asking themselves why. So unaona Ruku amesema what outlaw wearing of mask or anything obscuring faces protesters, requires organizers of demos attend protests throughout to help police in control, organizers to notify police 3 days before demos but not more than 14 days before event, protesters banned from singing or wearing regalia with inciting language. You can't even sing. 6, empowers police to prevent protesters from changing routes as earlier approved, imposes 100,000 Kenyan shillings fine, 1 year jail term for offenders. Aya, naona rafiki yetu Bernard ameingia hapo. Bernard, hebu tumsalimie. Bernard, uko maoni yako namna gani leo?
Yeah, I am mzuri sana, asante. I agree with you guys. Actually, Herman Manyora said the same thing. The person fueling the revolution is Ruto himself. Because number one, he's constantly campaigning on top of cars. You know, people are asking him, you have the most important job in the country in an office, but he cannot sit down in his office and solve any problem. He has to go on top of a vehicle and make promises. He is the number one cause of the revolution, and I agree with you all.
Waikwa said in his tweet that his constant moving around and having these town hall meetings and talking in vile umesema juu ya magari, it's evidence that he's incompetent. He can't do anything. Kwa nini we ni rais badala ufanye kazi, wewe unatembea uko kwa nini town hall meeting as if you're campaigning? When are you going to start working? What's wrong with this guy? So
also he firmly believes in tribalism, but Kenyans don't. Kenyans don't function like that. Like he thought, and you can see it in him, that if he brings Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya into the government and makes him Minister of Cooperative, somehow he feels that gives him the mandate to go to Kakamega and address lawyers and tell them, look, I have helped one of your sons, so therefore I am a good person. But the lawyers are not seeing it that way, and that's what the issue is. And then someone will say that he brought in Moses Kuria back to the government. It is because of the circumstances. When Moses Kuria was kicked out, Aidan Duale publicly came out and said that, and actually championed, he was publicly saying that he was organizing the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. because of course, Duale has issues with Gachagua because of what he did to the girl of intelligence. But Moses Kuria, who was out of a job, went on TV and said he's going to go around the entire Mount Kenya and tell people this impeachment of Gachagua is not going to go through. So Ruto got scared of his tribal antics. It's working against him. Then brought Kuria back to the government on tribal grounds. So he just doesn't care about whether Kuria can do the job or not. He wants, Ruto fears controversy. And Rigathi knows that.
What helped? How does impeaching the deputy Gachagua, how does that help Ruto anyway? I mean, that's where I don't get this politics, because the whole Gen Z movement, the whole country, basically, the majority of the Kenyan people do not like this administration. It's not a matter of we like kind of Gachagua kidogo. Or so when Ruto wants to get rid of Gachagua, how does it help him? Because they're all in one wako kwa gunia moja, goro moja, Ruto, Gachagua.
But you see, you're looking at a problem two different ways. The Gen Zs are sick of corruption. The Gen Zs are young people. They're looking for a future. They can't get jobs. They're frustrated. You know, and they can see it through that this government is corrupt and incompetent, and they want a better future and a better country that works for them. And that's why it's tribeless, it's formless. It's a true revolution. But Ruto firmly believes in tribalism as the bedrock of Kenyan politics. And he believes in the idea of tribal kingpins. So you can see he wants to send Raila so much to the AU so that because Raila is quote unquote the tribal kingpin of the Luo. So that he can inherit the Luo vote for sending the tribal kingpin of the Luo to the AU, which gives him now the right to inherit. That's how he sees the world. That's why Ruto does not care how the economy functions, whether people get employed, people get shot in the streets because of protesting. He just doesn't give a yogurt. All he wants is full tribal control of the country. He is the national kingpin. And that's what Moi was, and that's what he sees himself as. Those are the two different perspectives.
I agree with you to some extent, but I think it's not limited to Ruto. I think it's the whole political class, because immediately after Raila aliingia kwa serikali, alituma hao watu wake waingie kwa serikali, now you can hear his minions talking about hata sisi, unajua sisi Wajaluo hatujakuwa kwa serikali for a long time, so it's okay, tumeingia kwa serikali, let's celebrate this. So what I'm trying to say is this: all this political class, once they felt threatened by Gen Z, because Gen Zs were identifying ideas, walikuwa nasema let's deal with the issues, not tribe, because easy issues is affecting every tribe. Then the political class, ambao they all have deals. Akina Ruto, Raila, Uhuru, whatever, these people have deals. They're in one country club. So when they felt threatened, wakasema, you know what? Let's get together and let's use tribe to divide the masses. Let's use all our followers that we can still bring. But it's backfiring, because now, even if you go to other platforms, their strong supporters are saying, you know what? We are not buying your bowl. We are Kenyans. We are not buying it to the tribal Ninio. That's how I see. I'm a KK. You're looking at it different.
I think your part, Karibu Benson, Bernard. So I think your part, there's a population where watu wanafikiria hivyo. He is of that school of thought that once you conquer this kingdom, then you become the power broker. Na nakwambia, we are fighting probably one of the biggest things Kenya has ever fought. We are fighting IMF, World Bank, CIA, FBI, all those. And they know our weaknesses, but they know our weaknesses usually is a tribal. That's why the first thing he did is trying to interject us into the tribal garbage. Kikuyu watolewa sijui nini, atakurushwa Raila. That's all they know. Their way of fighting us back is outdated. So they don't know how to control. The one thing they have a way of controlling is how we communicate. That's what tulikuwa naongea hapa. The media houses, they're done. Wamesha controliwa. Thank God there are other sources of way to communicate, and that's where this will end up failing eventually. It's just a matter of time. I think in our best interest is to go back and see what has worked in the West Africa. What happened, whatever has worked in Bangladesh. We use all those ways. Whenever they do this thing, we know how to respond to it. That's our job here. That's our duty. Una research nini story ya Traore. Mwingine anaangalia Bangladesh. Unaangalia how situation ilikuwa hapa, economy ilikuwa hapa, job rates ilikuwa hapa. Then you compare that and you see whatever the government is doing, you have an opinion on how to counter that. We push them until they cannot go anywhere else but get out.
Yeah. And, like I said, the danger to these folks, and I'll get to Jordan Dinda's comment, Ama Jamaa, they've always exploited the poor. Because the poor, hawana job, na hawana nini, wanasema, unaona, ile kabila wako kwa serikali, so they are doing well. That's how they divided us, okay? And to your point, KK, how now people are talking to information age. Mimi niko hapa, nimesamba, nimesota, naongea na Bena, naongea na KK, naongea na Melchizedek, tunasema, nyewe, mazee wase wanatuenjoy. Kwa sababu the same issues ambao mko nayo huko Rift Valley, Wasingishu, inatuaffect huko Kisumu, inatuaffect huko ninio, Mount Kenya, or whatever the case is. Na tutasema, so hawa majenzi wakaanza kukutana wakasema, you know what, nyi mko na ujinga sana. We see the pattern. Kila mkishikwa kwa shida, once we start bringing up problem ya corruption, mnaanza kusema ati sijui inclusivity, wacha tuingize hii kabila ndio tuseme ati we are okay. So I think Gen Z is exposing them. Ndio maana nasema, and you're right, these things started colonial, siku za ukoloni. Maana the British were using one tribe against the other, or the collaborators na sijui nini. So yeah, there's also that element, but the fact remains. Now John Dida says, na Melchizedek, I'll ask you this. This is a very, I don't know, anasema, probably referring to Ruto, probably he wants to get rid of Gachagua because he hates Kikuyus and has vowed to stomp on them politically, economically, and socially. Yeah, I will let you guys answer that. Melchizedek, start with that, then we go to Bernard.
Yes.
Ruto amechukia wa Kikuyu
sana. With the reason.
Okay.
Remember wakati yenye alikuwa vice president. Uliona vile alikuwa anapigana na boss wake. That one is also indication that the guy is very, very cruel and akona wivu sana na watu wa Kikuyu. Juu hakupewa yeye muda ya kukula pesa vile alikuwa anataka. Alikula, lakini hakupea hiyo chance ya kuchukua mingi. So this time round amepata hiyo time. Ndio maana anafanya hivyo, na mwenye anataka kuwa impeached pia ni mtu mwingine pia. Yani sijui naweza sema aje. Unajua sisi tuko na shida moja. Unaona tu moto inawaka mahali, imewaka. Alafu unaweka mkono, unataka kufeel the pain, the taste of that fire. How does it taste? Unaona? Na alisema yeye ni mtu wa ukweli. Kama alikuwa mtu wa ukweli, sahi angekuwa anatoa kile kitu ambayo inafanyika juu. Sahi kitu inaendelea ni kuimpeach, si ndio? Kama alikuwa mtu wa ukweli angekuwa amesimama tu hivi na aseme mimi nimefika wakati ambapo wacha niseme ukweli na ukweli yangu ni hii. Ndio hata akiwa amekuwa impeached aseme ukweli ishatoka. So I think this issue of Ruto kuchukia watu wa nini is the truth. But wale ambao bado wanamuse like wakina Chungwa na nani, they are using them so that wamalize hiyo nini, hiyo rende ishe. Juu unaona kila kitu yenye inafanyika anapeana wale ambao bado unajua unapewa chakula kwa zani, alafu tena mtu anakunia hapo anakwambia we kula hiyo mafi, hakuna shida. Unaona? Kwa sababu umekaliwa. And this is what Ruto want to do. He want to finish the Mount Kenya kabisa totally. Leadership hiyo iende, then abaki akishangilia akusema ya kwamba anafanya kazi, wale ambao wamefanya makosa ndio hii. Unaona? So mimi I'm really supporting that issue of Ruto amechukia nini. Hata Wajaluo wamechukia.
I think, first of all, I think the guy is a mental case. If you look at him, he is very unstable. No.
I'm listening.
You know, psychopaths, sociopaths. Mtu ana lie to your face. Na hata, hata even if you're lying, unasikia kaibu kiasi. Hana. That's what unasikia sijui alikuwa anataka kuchapa nini. The other leader before. It shows you, it shows you that man is unstable mentally, right? So I think, if you try to conquer, you want a boogeyman. I think for him, he wants Kikuyus and Luos to be the boogeyman, and everybody else unite against them. Because he knows those two cannot. I don't think they can. I don't know how the population works, but I don't think those two alone can be able to beat him. That's what I think.
You remember, you see. Sorry, but before you bring Bernard, you see how this guy is very, very desperate. Raila atoke aende AU. If you can see, there is something is hidden there, which means that he wants the top politicians that are making people against him to go away so that he can be the king. Unaona? So akisema kitu watu wanafanya, akiweka tu 10,000 hivi kitu kwa mkoto mwingine kama wakina Mbadi na kina nani, yes baba. Unaona?
Yeah.
So ataki ile mtu ambaye anampea stress na is desperate, is very, very desperate, as you can see. President Mugani anatembea akisema ya kwamba nimetenga na hakuna kutenga. Ametenga nini yake? Sijui nini.
Okay. Let me ask this question to Bernard, and it's the same one kind of. Okay. Ruto amechukia Kikuyu. He was suspected of being involved in that Kiamba incident. Came and joined forces with Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta is a Kikuyu kingpin. Yeah, he was chosen a kingpin. Then one would argue, I'm playing the devil's advocate. What will say, okay, alikuja akakutana na Uhuru wakashikana mkono akasema tufanye kazi pamoja, 5 yangu 10 yako. He brought Gachagua as his vice president, akaleta wakina Moses Kuria, akaleta Ndindi Nyoro, Ichungwa. Does that help his case as not being a Kikuyu hater? Ama bado you also maintain, as KK said and Melchizedek and John Dinda in the comment, that Ujama, he's jealous, he doesn't like the Kikuyu community, he's trying to get rid of them, and he's playing politics using the Luos to fight the Kikuyu Mount Kenya politics.
Well, the latter is the truth. So Uhuru chose him because Uhuru is a prince, born a state house with a lot of wealth. He doesn't give a damn about money. So he struck a deal with Ruto. Look, let's end this thing of tribal animosity. Let's solve it. Uhuru was coming from a very genuine perspective to Ruto. Hold on.
I see you on daddy duties. I understand. I feel your pain. Should we give you a few minutes?
Yeah, give me a few minutes.
Okay.
Give them lollipop. Anyway, go ahead.
Lollipop. Yeah. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, okay, okay, there's evidence that alikuwa amechukia Wakikuyu kwa sababu he was named in that atrocities ya 2007. Alafu tukashikwa na butaa tukimwona sana shikana na Uhuru Kenyatta, who's so-called the Kikuyu, the face of the Kikuyu, whatever, kingpin, whatever the case is. Wakashikana wakasema haya, tugangane tuende 10 yangu 10 yako, kumira, or whatever the case is. So one might argue that maybe he didn't hate the Kikuyus, just our politics are tribal. Tulikuwa na tribal clashes, nikapoya a bunch of Kalenjin warriors some pesa, wakachinja watu huko. It happens during tribal clashes, unfortunately. Unaona, nimechagua Gachagua, nimekachagua kaka sijui Chungwa, whatever the case is. So he might make a case that nilifanya kazi na watu wenu, so kwa nini mnataka kuniita ati mimi Uhuru Kikuyu hater? One can argue that way, just to Melchizedek or KK, if you want to take that. You don't buy that argument?
I actually think it's a wrong argument, actually.
Okay.
The reason I say this, tunasema Gen Z, tunaongea hapa, tunasema wamesha solve hii puzzle. We know what's wrong with this.
Yes.
We go back to a tribal sijui mtu wetu.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even the issue now. We have to fix our country first. So I think the conversation, and I urge anyone, please, let's look forward.
Okay.
How do we, whatever anafanya, we can be able to see and now talk about it, so people have that aware in their minds. Because whatever Kenya naweza ona na Kenya wewe unaona na Kenya watu wengine wanaona ni different. But if we share that, kuna watu wataona eventually everything makes sense. Tunaongea history ya NYS kuanza kutrain watu kutumia guns. But if you think about it, don't listen to what he's saying. Watch what he is doing. So as he plans, will be steps ahead of whatever he's thinking he's going to do. And when he tries it, he will fail even at that time. The other point I wanted to add is Safaricom, the Safaricom ikiwaka na gava. Starlink took over.
Wewe KK, wewe leo tutakupatia makofi. Somebody give somebody KK apate makofi hapo kwa comment section. Tafadhali. KK ana drop bombs leo. Endelea, sorry. Go ahead.
We have to connect hizi vitu. That's what nakwambia. Watu walirudi nyumbani. Wakadhani unajua Kenya unafanya. Tumekuwa kila mtu alikuwa akipanga. Akiangalia vitu unaona ni nini, unahitaji nini. Kila mtu psychologically, we are there. And soon we'll start saying it. We are here. Get out.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree with you. I was just mentioning that because it seems to be, I always highlight that it's a tactic being used. To me, honestly, actually, there's rumors that Gachagua might be mtoto wa Moi. I don't know how true that is. Mtoto wa Moi, but I won't get there. Nasema hivi, this is the tactic that is being used. Ruto, to me, in my opinion, and I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like Ruto is using this Gachagua impeachment na engine because they want to create that division. Sasa Ruto ameabandon wa Kikuyu, so that adandie hiyo nio sijui ati Wajaluo, so that we can still in our minds, kwa sababu so far historically tumekuwa hii tribal politics. Sasa tunakaa tunafikiria yenyewe unaona amebandonwa Kikuyu sasa yako kwa na Wajaluo, but that is just ninio kututoa kwa hii what Gen Z is opening up our eyes on, highlighting, as KK has said. Gen Z may expose wamesema it's not about tribe, it's about the issues, and I think that's what is scaring them to death, and that's why Raila Odinga had to join Ruto in his nurses. Bernard, are you in a position to talk? Ama nipatie Melchizedek?
Well, yeah, well, you the issue with Shagwa is a real issue, is a real threat to Ruto, because Mount Kenya is extremely angry with Ruto. So, and Gachagua saw the opportunity, and he started undermining Ruto, and Ruto noticed it, and that's where the impeachment was valid actually. Gachagua is on record going for a meeting saying he believes in one man, one shilling, one vote, which is basically BBI. So Ruto has grounds to be suspicious of Gachagua. But the problem now is that with Moses Kuria uniting with Gachagua, and now Gachagua claiming that he's having talks with Uhuru Kenyatta, Ruto can't afford to fight all three at once. And that's why the impeachment motion went down, because there is no way you can fight a region that has 3.1 million votes. No politician can do that. So these are real problems that Ruto is facing. And like I said, he strongly believes in tribal manipulation and tribal kingship. Basically, tribal politics is what he believes in. He doesn't believe in development, doesn't believe in projects. He has no single project he's done since he became president. He doesn't care about that. As long as he's in Kakamega and inheriting Raila's tribal votes, he is happy. He believes he's secure to become the next president in 2027. As long as the tribalism works for him, that's all he cares about.
Okay, good point. Melchizedek, ulikuwa unataka kusema kitu?
Okay, nilikuwa nataka kusema hivi. I think we used to know that the politics is a dirty game, and if you are not playing as a politician when when you want to do something, it will show that you don't have that potential to be a leader. So the issue that is taking place here is very simple. You know, when someone want to give you a pressure or want to tell you something regarding yourself, he will start with things that even you yourself, you will ask, why is this guy investigating a lot of things like this? So I think the way we have said it is something that most of people seeing is happening. And it's the truth that the guy by question is the guy that is desperate for everything. So I think we can just leave it from there and say that let's see in the next generation that are coming what will happen, because when we are talking about all this, it seems that it's good to talk about it, but how will this one help Gachagua right now? How will that help Gen Z right now? Those are the questions that we should ask ourselves, because once we have decided to say something that is giving us the problem in our country, we need to see. These are the things that we need to analyze, and these are the things that we do. We need all these people. Wakina Gachagua, Wakina Gachieta, whatever, name them. Let them go. If they have decided to impeach him or whatever, well and good. It's giving us the easy, we call it walkover, right? Ukienda kucheza mpira mtu opponent yako hajakuja, hiyo ni walkover, si ndio? So I think these are the things that we really need as Gen Z, so that each and every day these things are happening, we are feeling nice that, oh, the pressure that we are giving these people headache. So they are coming with their different things. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No. Yeah.
Now, and maybe this is my final question. What is the goal of this movement? I know everyone is saying different things with Gen Z because it's Gen Zote. This is not a tribal group, not tribal group, but age group movement. What is the end? What's the goal? Is it to remove Ruto, or is it to bring changes that will help remove Ruto, as far as revolutionizing the legislature, where we bring in our people, tunangoja 2027 tutoe wale MPs ambao walivote for finance bill, alafu wakishatolewa to use wale MP mpya watoe Ruto. What is the end game? What is the focus? Is it Ruto must go atoke, or is it changing hizi vitu kama corruption, hizi vitu kama vile the way we are funding our universities, our healthcare, the things that we have been highlighting, talking about, we're against? What is it? Today, let me hear from everyone. I'll start with Bernard, then I'll start with KK, then we go to Bernard, then Melchizedek kumalize. What is the goal? Kutoa Ruto ama ni hizi to make changes in the system?
Asante for the time. I think we mentioned in your question.
Yes.
We are talking a lot of things. All of them are very true. But one thing we are not focused on, and I beg each and everyone, ako hapa kwa chat ama tusikiza, let's focus on the way forward. Swali umeuliza what is the end goal? Tumesha agree. The Gen Z said, and Gen Z says, ni kila mtu now, Gen Zote. This government has to go. Before we do anything else, before we talk about the corruption things, they have to be gone. Ni kama uko na nyumba kwako, kuna wezi na kuna wengine kwa hao, na bado unasema saa kila kitu iko poa, ngoja nianze kupanga deni hao tena. It does not make logical sense. My brothers and sisters, Ruto has to go. All we should be doing now is the avenues, the ways, the pressure. Those are the only thing that we should be talking about. We should be focused on. Na sio kusema anything else everybody is adding in by. No, it's a fact and it may be true, most of it. But priorities, they're not right. They're not okay. We're in a ditch. We are talking about, who dropped us here? Let's get out of the ditch first. Then let's realize who was driving. Does that make sense for all of us?
Yeah. To me, it does, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Melchizedek, tunataka tutoe hawa corrupt wanabunge and so forth, ama wewe unaonaje? Kwa sababu the reason why I asked that is because somebody actually asked me that, saying, nyinyi, you're pro Gen Z and all this stuff, what is the focus? I think I like KK's answer there. But, some people, I had my argument with my good friend Bernard here. Kaniambia Ruto atoke, Gachagua takes over, whatever the case, because, after Gachagua kikaa hapo, he'll be, he'll know that he can actually, but I'll get to him. Melchizedek, what is the goal? Unakubaliana na Kiki ama tumtoe kidogo kidogo by bits?
I will give my idea or according to what we have been talking about. First, we need the regime. We are not talking about the Ruto himself. We are talking about the government itself. They have to go. And the leader of this government is Ruto. That's the first thing. The second thing, we need the good governor. After all this regime has gone, then we will sit down as Gen Zs, then we will say, okay, today we have removed the corrupt people. What is the way forward? Then we bring on board those who can conduct the government without corruption, without killing, without doing each and everything that we are seeing now. Third thing that we are fighting for, you say that let me wacha nitoboe. Baba alisema ni vomit kila kitu. The third thing, we want our country to be like, for example, Arab country, whereby even if we have one person, and this is the person that gives the direction and things are very clear. I'm in Arab countries, I'm in the UAE, whereby you find that we have a king, we call it sheikh.
Sultan. Oh,
Yeah. When the sheikh say tomorrow this barabara inabomolewa, ukiamuka asubuhi utapata hiyo barabara imebomolewa na imetengenezwa the same day. Unaona? Those are the things that we need in Kenya. To last point, we don't need what is called the tribalism, whereby ukikuja hapa huyu ni Mjaluo, hapana huwezi ongea. Huyu ni Mkikuyu, hataki kuongea. So those are the main 3 points that we need as new generation, so that when our children are coming to be the leaders, we already make the way that they also enjoy the fruit of our sweat. I think it's very clear.
very well put. Bernard.
Yes, I think change happens at the margin. I mean, here in the United States, we live in a country of laws and the rule of law. So if you need to change something, you propose it in Congress, people vote on it, it becomes law, president signs. That's the way things work in the United States. And I believe the Kenyan Constitution is heavily borrowed from the United States. And I believe Kenyans want the US system as opposed to any other form of government. You know, I always say in a revolution, we are in one, or people who are advocating for change, it's good to be sophisticated. And being sophisticated means if a fight between Ruto and Gachagua is good for Gen Zs because it weakens them. And since what we want is good, if your goal is good governance and a better Kenya and a better future, then a fight between Ruto and Gachagua is what we want in the revolution. Let them fight each other and be preoccupied how to eliminate each other. That's what we need. So we can both go and eliminate each other. That's good news for us. They're both not helping the country. We also are governed by laws. You know, I'm suspicious of a situation where every single parliamentarian, every single judge, and every single person in the executive is gone in one night. That, you know, I can't even visualize what that means for the country. But I can visualize a situation where Ruto steps down because of public pressure and Gachagua is elected as interim. Remember, that will create tremendous confusion in UDA, which is the governing party, because now you have someone, Gachagua doesn't get along with Oscar Sudi or, you know, the Ruto's, you know, handlers, but they're in one party. So that's tremendous confusion and chaos for them. So what would it mean? They won't even have enough time or energy or resources to plan how to loot or to take over the country in 2027. You know, he'll be forced to go to the drawing board, how to survive. So most likely he'll have to seek a coalition to take the country just, you know, for the next 2 years, the general election, which is what you want. You want progressive change because nothing can come overnight. The United States was not created overnight. after Washington crossed the Delaware River, it took another 8 months for the peace treaty to be signed in Paris, or for the country to become, to become a country. It didn't all happen overnight. It took months. And in this revolution, to me, the key thing will be the resignation of Ruto. That will be the biggest accomplishment. Then, of course, it will invite various questions. How did we get here? Wanton corruption, disregard of the law, killing, no due process of law, all these questions. And Kenya has very smart people, so it would immediately create a culture and a precedent in Kenya where no one can even imagine to become president for the sake of becoming president. If you want to become president, you better be there to do the job, to do what Kenyans want. That is what removing Ruto means for anybody who wants to aspire to that position.
But do you think Ruto would resign under any circumstances?
Yes. Yes. He and by bringing Akin Raila in points to severe desperation. Also note that since the Gen Z process started, I think he's left Kenya once to go to Rwanda for the inauguration, and he went there with Raila. Okay. So the protests have changed his behavior. The protests have changed the political alignment of Kenya. The revolution is working. The revolution is working. And remember, Ruto was installed by the United States and the United Kingdom. He's a puppet. And trust me, they are reading the situation. Even him allowing Raila to come to government and these people is not entirely a Ruto thing. This is something that is engineered by Meg Whitman, the US ambassador. So even them, they're reading the signs. They know at some point it will become untenable to defend this guy. And also keep in mind, the powers that helped Ruto, the political powers that helped Ruto, I think in the UK, they have fallen. And in the United States, if everything goes according to what we're seeing, they might fall. So Ruto will have no backers. So it is extremely logical to envision a situation where Ruto is not in power in Kenya in December.
Okay. Kiki, you have a pregnant point.
Always question yourself when somebody tells you. Ask yourself, progress comes in small pieces. When we are not talking about opposition, we are talking of revolution, right? Ask yourself, are we looking at the same thing? Are you either kind of misleading or you cannot see that far, or what is it? We are talking of revolution. We are not talking of opposition. We are talking of all that. And I'll tell you, he mentioned, Bernard mentioned about the West. That's very true. The reason why Ruto is still in power today, the day we broke into the what do you call it, the parliament, US was ready to let this guy go. And this is why when Maggie left, they talked. And he became so arrogant. He returned everybody back. Because the US was looking for the opposition, the other side, the head of Gen Z, trying to get to throw him. And when we were able to get the guy out, they still control the Gen Zs and the whole thing. This is why you see West knew what to do. Because situation haija happen. And I know they do a lot of studies according to that.
I remember Meg Whitman left the country. I remember that day.
For 2 months, I remember.
Yeah.
And when he came back, Ruto was so arrogant. Kila kitu iko poa, nini. Then the pressure, the social media pressure, got to the US government. They told these people who killed people need to be charged. But it's still a PR move. At the end of the day, they are with Ruto. They will stand with him Because if he falls, whole of Africa falls. And this is what is happening. The bigger picture. This is what I'm telling you. We have not just Ruto, we have everything working against us. So we cannot be all these small things, unless your purpose is to derail us or to derail the whole movement. And again, it's a revolution, it's not opposition.
So Bernard is arguing progressives, let's be progressives, we kidogo, and KK is saying revolution, a total overhaul. To be fair to Gen Zs, the argument was, and I know Bernard, we are saying you cannot just change anything overnight. They are saying this: we can get rid of the executive, which is the whole branch president and all his cabinets, then the legislative body, which already the legislative body, they are rendered useless right now since they took the mace. They're illegally operating because the people have spoken, exercised their power directly by taking that mace. So,
can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Bernard has said, okay, there's some things that he said fine, but this issue of change, when we see how the Bangladesh did it, it tells very well that the changes can come when people are very serious and very tired about this, because we can make a change even as we speak when we are very serious. What if, okay, for example, now you are in this platform, and then we say now we are not talking. Nobody will subscribe. Nobody will like. It's simple. We have make a change, right? We have said no. The platform of Kenya we are not going. You will automatically it will end, right?
Yes.
It's the same thing that we can do. That if we say that we don't want this government, we can go and say the way these people went. People sit there waiting, even if they are killing, but at the end of the day, this thing has changed. But if we wait and say that things are being changed slowly or bit by bit, we are giving these people momentum to gain and recruit more people to kill. But if we say that no, we will not give them a chance, that change will come. So you find that you now see even now they are going to even, I wish I was there in NYS when I was there before. Right now, if they can produce the gun, I can train to kill Ruto. I swear.
Come, hey, order. Let me pull a Bernard. Order.
We are not against. We are against him. We are not against Bernard, but we are just trying to say that the change can come when we are very serious about it.
I wasn't referring to this Bernard, but I'm sorry. But by the way, yeah.
Not Bernard, not Bernard we are talking about. I know he's thinking about his. No, we love you, my friend. That's why you are here. If you are not here, you can be pastor. Then we kick you out. Sorry.
Ai Kiki, ulikuwa unataka kusema kitu before I give Bernard to ajitetee akiwa pale yako?
No, sina kitu. Continue Bernard.
Okay, Bernard, ulikuwa unataka kujitetea kidogo kabla nimalize maneno. To defend myself, Melchizedek, even if all these subscribers, if they leave me, mimi nitaendelea peke yangu. By the way, I was just joking with my friend, Brother Benzo, the other day. I was just telling him, remember, mimi nilikuwa napiganga makelele hapa peke yangu, and I used to have one person watching me while I napiga makelele kama mwenda wazimu. Even Kip used to feel sorry for him. Me anaingia hapa ananiambia, na wewe unaongeanga peke yako hapo, hakuna mtu anakuangalia. I'm like, because I believe in it. I believe in what I talk about. So,
let me cut you short. Last time ulitoweka, ndio maana hata watu walisema hapana, huyu jamaa za kuna Bernard pia alisema, kwani platform ni yako peke yako? Niliona akicomment hapo chini, mimi pia nikasema leo wacha nikubomoe kidogo. Unajua, these things, you bring these things so that people can change their ideas, to bring the change and make a difference. So
Yeah.
when you are there alone talking,
Yeah.
like ile tunasemaje, ushaenda huko nyumbani then upate kuku inatoa kitu chini hivi, then unajiuliza na hii kuku anafanya nini hapa, unaona? Then ujaribu kuenda kuangalia nini kuku alikuwa anatafuta, hautapata, lakini yeye anajua. So wewe ulikuja kutafuta kitu ambayo sisi hatujui.
Like
No.
I agree with you, but nasema hivi, unajua mimi nikiona mkiingia, if you don't ask for the link, that means you don't want to be part of the conversation. Lakini unaona sasa, ndio unaona mtu kama Kip ama brother Benson, if they get in, they always ask for link. They're like, hey, link, because they want to say what they want to say. Lakini ukiingia na hujaitisha link, and sometimes natakanga kuingia niseme kitu ile iko kwa kifua yangu, nifungue kifua, alafu nawacha watu waingie, kwa sababu once you people get in, I reserve my ninio, naacha kutoa maoni yangu. I just lead you to a point, lakini nawacha nyinyi sasa mtoe maoni yenu, unaona, because you can't argue with people. Yeah,
I want to have a request, because
go ahead.
Sometimes there is something that we need to say it.
Uh-huh.
We don't need to be afraid to come in the platform. Why can't you just come and say it, kitu yenye kwa kifua, badala ya kukua kwa comment section? Si kwa baya, saa zingine mtu hana data ya kuingia, but there are those who have enough data. When we are here more than 5 or 10, there is something that we are trying to show even outside there. But these people, they mean what they are saying.
Okay.
So, but when we are here only 2 people or 3 people, we are not doing for people, but we are giving the message to the world.
Okay.
That there is something that is going on. So when you have the time, just come in, talk to us. We are not rude, we will not kill you, we will not put you to jail. We are just here, very peaceful. We need a change in our country. It's just a humble request. Thank you for those who heard about.
Points noted. I will do so. So mkinipatia feedback basi naelewa. But anyway, guys, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I have to end it here. So if you have any final word, please, before I give these gentlemen their final say, like and share, comment, and do all the good stuff. Share this video in the comment in your WhatsApp groups, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Ile inaitwaje ile ya Wachina ambayo inawataka kufungwa huko, Telegram na kadhalika. So I'll start with Bernard, your last word, then we go to KK, then Melchizedek, then I will wrap it up. Let's go, Bernard. Nafasi ni yako.
Well, I believe in democracy and I believe in the rule of law. And I remember the night very, very well when Obama won the election to become the U.S. president. I was in Georgetown, and I remember Georgetown University. I remember the students going crazy that night. I had just gone for mass, and I asked one of them. They were running in a frenzy. I said, "What's going on over here? What's up?" And one of them told me Obama won. So they basically, Georgetown is about 30 blocks from the White House.
Is it in Washington?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So the students marched from Georgetown to the White House by foot.
Oh yeah. I remember when they went to tell Wakanza ku scream mbele ya State House as George Bush, get the F out, get the F out.
Yeah. So to me, I'm not a Democrat. I didn't vote for Obama, but that was a revolutionary moment. There was just a few days later, I think I flew to New York. I remember people screaming on the plane, something that even the captain went on the mic and said, "Hope has come to America." And the entire plane went ballistic and cheered. So that was a moment in history. And I was happy, even if I didn't vote for this guy, a black man in the White House. 8 years later, I remember the morning Trump was declared president. I was at the Dunkin' Donuts at almost 3 in the morning because I started work at 4. 3:30, maybe I was buying my coffee. And I asked the guy behind, I had a commotion, and I asked the guy behind me, "What's going on over there?" "Oh, Trump won." I'm like, "Excuse me?" "Yes, Trump won." And it was also a surreal moment, you know. And fast forward to that Trump victory, I didn't know what it meant, but there's a huge impact on me. And I watched as Trump appointed 3 judges to the Supreme Court. And I remember the very day that Roe v. Wade, the case allowing abortion in America, was overturned. That's when it hit me like an earthquake. It matters who is president. And I came to the US in 1996. I marched in DC in the snow so that abortion can be overturned. I never knew when or how it's going to happen. And I always said, you know what, this is evil, but I'll keep pushing. And I never expected in my lifetime, A, to see a black US president, or B, to see abortion declared illegal at a federal level in the US. And it did. So, my fellow Kenyans, when Gen Z say Ruto must go, take it seriously. Don't read too much into it. They mean just that. A fish starts rotting in the head. You take that guy out, and it will never be business as usual in Kenya for anyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bernard. That was a very good closing remark. See, one thing I like about Bernard, we can not see eye to eye on some issues, like and anailetanga together. Okay, he's a strong-minded young man. Let me call you that. Maybe he's not young, but I'm just saying that, and that's what I like about Bernard. Nakona maoni yake, and also KK, and also Mechezde. KK, the floor is yours. Thank you so much, Bernard. KK, niambie.
I think every day I see the group people talking. I listen, and sometimes I just come and say one minute sentence, and that's it. But I think today I will emphasize, and I'll urge all of us to think the focus, the purpose. Let's not get confused by the side shows that they want us to focus on. Watch what their actions are. From the actions, then we react to that, and let's share with everybody else so we can see it together and fight these evil people out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, Kiki and Bernard also. Like I said in the comment section, one thing I like about people who I respect are people with strong-minded people. Atakama, it might not be famous in the panel, but watasema vile wanafikiria, and I respect that. Even hata kama on the screen now, that's why I like these two gentlemen. KK Melchizedek, kata wewe, hebu endelea, niambie, maliza.
Okay. Nataka kumaliza nikisema first of all, let us not be afraid of this regime. Let us be strong, and we have that hope that this regime is going, whether they like it or not. My first point. My second point, let us not give these people another chance again to gain the momentum that they lose last time. So once we have decided today is started, I'm still sitting here, I'm waiting until the mandamano will start, is when I will sleep. So the only thing that will give us that the unity, na tuseme ya kwamba this is what we want and let us do it. And we will celebrate the next day that we have won. We are the warriors. That's all.
Thank you.
Can I add something very quick, please? Before I forget, I know I'm so sorry I interrupt.
No,
I keep interrupting.
Go ahead.
I had another suggestion for the formatting of the show, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Suggestions are encouraged.
I think if we see whatever is happening during the day, like the actions of, for example, tomorrow, we can take the history we have. We have a lot of good history from Burkina Faso, Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
See, at those times, what were the government doing? What were the West doing? And we can bring it here, show to people, discuss it, and we can be able to analyze that in reference to how they will try to handle us from a Kenyan perspective. I think that would be amazing.
So basically compare like how they've dealt with other countries and what is happening in real time in Kenya.
Like the situation now in Kenya.
Uh-huh.
If you go back to YouTube, there's a lot of history of whatever was happening in, for example, to the guy to come into power, right?
Yes.
Everything was working. The first coup didn't work out that way. Go back to each situation in their country, because that's where we are going.
Okay.
This is how the West will try to, support the government to keep him in power.
Gotcha.
They use the same playbook.
Right. Yeah. Yes. They do. They do. And I agree with you. I'll put it together. There's some some of my older videos have done that, but I'll put it together. Yes.
Yes. And I have suggestions too, if you don't mind. I will share with you as well, or everybody else can.
Okay. All right. That's a good suggestion. I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Thank you, Clean Black Sneakers, for being part of being a member. Being a member is $1. It's cheap. Okay. You don't have to be a member if you don't want to. If you want to be part of this, that's fine. Thank you for the super chats. For those of you guys who gave me super chats, everything else. Panelist Melchizedek, Bernard as usual, and Kiki also, who always, like I said, si lazima tuone vitu eye to eye. Otherwise, we'll be robots. But I like you guys because you are strong-minded individuals. Tunaweza disagree, but I respect your stand and you respect my stand, and we keep it respectful. And that's why I appreciate Melchizedek, Bernard, and KK. Okay? Anyway, kesho ni marathon. So endeni mkalale. For those of you who are in diaspora, najua Saudi Arabia, nani amesema ati hata lala mpaka anze kuona vile mambo inaendelea Kenya. I'll do the same. Probably. Nakwambia hata nikiona vurugo hapo, I know by 4 a.m. it will be like in the afternoon in Kenya. I'm in Eastern time. So nikianza kuona vitu, hey, computer itafunguliwa, nitaingia hapa na tuanze maneno. So thank you so much, panelists, for being part of this. Again, guys, share it with your WhatsApp group, political groups, whatever, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. What wajue about these channels? Tunaweza kutana hapa hivi to talk, discuss how we can change Kenya. This is not about making money or whatever the case is. It's about sharing ideas and how we can improve Kenyans. If you feel comfortable with this, that's fine. Hapa ulizwangi pesa, ulizwangi nini. You do that on your own volition. We shall still encourage everyone to play. Greetings from John Dinda from Machakos. Hey, Machakos. Ay, Macha. Kama kawaida. But thank you so much, everyone. John Dinda, thank you so much. I wish I could shout out to everyone, but I have to go because I have to take because nimekuwa kunywa kahawa ya ile kahawa. But thank you so much. Rebel salute to everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully stay safe. If you're going to maandamano, beba maji na kadhalika, na ununue mask kama unaweza, cause tear gas, we should expect it. You know how Ruto operates. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ama namna gani? Peace and blessings. I'll see you guys tomorrow.